Hello everybody, and welcome to this channel of Orthopodic Designs. Today we have what is a Chilean rose-haired tarantula's exoskeleton. This is, believe it or not a dead tarantula. It is actually the molted skin, the shell of the tarantula, which is actually my pet, Rose. And she just shed today after 5 years. I've had her for 8 years, and not exactly sure how old she is in total, but in my 8 years with her, this is the 3rd time she's actually shed. And we can make something out of this. Well, at least we'll try. So bear with me, this is my first time as well. I have never dealt with the molted skin of a tarantula before. So let's try this out. I think it's still fresh, so it will still bend somewhat. Oh man, this leg is a little stiff. Yeah. This is much more delicate than your average dried insect, because that dried insect has been intact for a while, while this is just a dead skin. It's like us shedding our skin in one piece, and you know, it can be quite fragile. So we just want to be careful here. As always, you want to pin the base of the specimen, the sides, like so. Make sure you're not piercing any of the actual body part. This way we can keep things together. Make sure it's stable, it doesn't go crazy. I'm just gonna re-pin this part over here. Yes. Let's try zooming out a bit here. And then we're gonna try pinning the legs. It's already pretty nice right now. I want it more symmetrical, but this one might be a little hard to do because, like I said, this is quite weak. It's fresh, but some parts aren't very fresh, like this leg here. But I'll try my best. Yeah. Here, I'll put one on this side too, so it balances out. So I'm not pushing too much on one end. Well, that already looks really nice. Now the most difficult part, I'm guessing, is gonna have to be this part. Thorax, abdomen. We'll try. We're gonna have to glue it back together, and we're gonna have to stuff this part with some sort of cotton. But it definitely will be a challenge. Challenge that I have never dealt with before, which is fun. It's always fun when you are trying out new challenges. Always try out new things. Don't ever be afraid to. Like this. My spider is not gonna shed for another 4 years, I bet. Perhaps even more. The older they get, the less they do, so I gotta take this opportunity and use it to my full potential. Look at that, it already looks really nice. Just gonna place that there. This one's quite stiff too, but we can work with it. Having a board with lines, a grid system, does really help. It helps with knowing whether or not your specimen is, you know, mirrored, perfectly parallel, looking balanced. in this case, it's hard to tell. I'm just gonna have to eye it with my eyes and hope that for the best, it's working well. These are called pedipalps, I believe. Almost like extra legs. Oh, this one's actually pretty stiff. This one looks good. I'm just gonna keep this one where it is. Keep that in place. I like the way it looks. This one I'm just gonna have to work with it. I'll push down on this end with my finger and there we go. That'll do it. And then I'll put another one on this side. Like so it keeps things together. It's not gonna move, I hope. Get my tweezers. I'm just so careful with this because it's so delicate. It could break any time now. But spiders in general are so weak. I feel like the slightest mistake would just destroy the whole thing. Even a fully intact one. That's why a lot of spider specimens are more put into liquid preservations than this way. But there are people that do it. It's not too bad. The only reason why they do that is so they can keep the abdomen intact, and the abdomen is always going to be the weakest and most flimsy, and that really can't be helped. That's just how the spiders are. All spiders are very soft-bodied on the abdomen. Maybe I'll push this down a little more. Yeah. Keep that in place. And then I'll keep the foot in place here. This one as well. Push that down. Thankfully it's still soft. And it's not gonna break when I... Whoa. That's not a good sound. Let's try that again. Might have kind of fractured it a little, but it shouldn't be a big deal. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby. There. This one is definitely not balanced, I could tell. So I can't move this one. This one's too stiff, so I'm gonna compensate for that by moving this one instead to look more like this one. If you get my drift. There we go. Yeah. That's more balanced. Now let's finish off these legs, because the most challenging part is over there. I don't want to have to deal with it, to be honest. Back legs seem okay already. Just gonna make sure that they are good to go. Okay, this one's a little messed up. This pin's like stuck together. I'm not gonna use that. Gonna have to get more pins out. Lacking on pins. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. The more pins the better, I'd say, because it's... You never know. Once it dries, it could go back to being all messed up, so I would always make sure things are pinned correctly and not take the risk. Look at all these tiny hairs. How cool is that? There we go. Maybe one more over there. And there we have it. Now, this part is gonna be hard. That's okay. But this over here is gonna be the issue. Just gonna open this up again. As you can see, this is so soft. It's bound to burst somehow. And I'm really scared to deal with that. I'm just gonna spread it, massage it a little, get it open. And then I'm just gonna get some foam. Just random foam, cotton. Not really foam, I guess, cotton. Just gonna rip that up a bit. And, place it there. Something doesn't look right. Actually, it's not that bad. It's a little too fat, actually. Here, let me redo that. Just a bit. It's a shame because this part's a little ripped, and that's not my doing. It's my tarantula going all hardcore on its own exoskeleton. I'm gonna just put some super glue in there. I'm gonna remove the base pins because they're kind of in the way now. And I'm just gonna put this in here. Like so. I'm wondering if that's enough. I feel like I need more. More cotton. No? Actually, that's pretty good. That looks decent. Yeah. There. Seal the deal. There we go. Get this in there very carefully. Put that there. Pack it down a bit. Super glue in there will soak everything up and keep things together. Hopefully. That's the plan, at least. Like I said, I've never done this before. I'm just honestly winging it as I go. And then we'll get some pins. Spinnerets going like that. There. Not too bad. Not too bad. And then the thorax or head. I don't think I need cotton for this one. I'm just contemplating whether I should just rip this part out and then glue it separately. That might actually be better than doing this. Fit it in like that. Okay, I think I got it. This part's gonna be hard. Do this. So nervous for some reason. Okay, there we go, there we go. It's a little crooked. Yeah, you gotta have really textile fingers when it comes to doing stuff like this. Delicate, very delicate. I just wanna push it down a bit more, but looks like it won't budge anymore because the glue is already setting in. I do wish the abdomen was fatter. Man, I am already regretting what I just did. It sucks. I mean, it's not that bad, but it could be better. It could be better. I'm just gonna balance this out and make it just a bit tad prettier. Perfection is key. Let's see. Yeah, get that leaning in a bit more. I'm sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing. It's a bit too zoomed in. But you can see, it's kind of getting there. Just gotta make sure this thing's not moving around. There. And that looks like it's settled in, and here the pedipalps need a bit more work. That there, like that. This one as well. Tad more this way. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Not too shabby. There you have it. The exoskeleton of a Chilean rosehaired tarantula from my pet. So, you know, you don't always have to kill your animals. I'm not saying I do, but if you have a pet tarantula or a scorpion, and you just have to wait until they molt, and then you get yourself a free second spider that you can pin and frame. I'll get to the framing soon enough. We have our Chilean rosehaired tarantula skin all mounted. It should be dry by now. The abdomen isn't as perfect as I wanted it to be, but nonetheless, it's It's not too shabby. I'll just brush this a little with the hairbrush. Should be good. Warm light going. Now, it's time to unpin. Make sure you always keep your pins organized and not going everywhere else. You don't want to lose these. They are quite sharp. So there they go. Got the pins out. One by one. Oh. I have a frame in mind, and the frame I have in mind is from IKEA. Usually I get my frames from Michaels, but IKEA had these really nice square frames, and I just couldn't resist. So I'll show them to you later. I think pinning takes a lot of patience because you have to wait until the specimen dries, and you know, some people don't like waiting. It doesn't mean you should do something rash like use a hairdryer to dry it faster. That's not gonna work. You might even damage the specimen that you're working with. Not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. This is already looking good. Looks like everything's stable. It's all staying in place. Make sure you don't accidentally pierce what you made. Just a few more, 2 more. There we go. And there we go. Now use your forceps to carefully remove the dried husk off its platform. It's extremely light because, well, you know, this is just an exoskeleton of my spider. But here it is. That's what it looks like. What I do to fix this is, wish I can somehow get the hairs going downwards. I'll just brush it with my finger slightly. Should be fine. I'm just gonna look for my scissors here because I want to cut something off. Can't find my scissors. What I want to do is I want to cut this little piece off here. Maybe I can use my forceps. No, it's quite risky. It's a big risk. Definitely gonna need my scissors. If not, then I will use a knife. I wouldn't recommend using a knife because, unless you have an X-Acto knife, that's a different story. But you know, so you get less control of what you want to cut. There we go. Just make it a bit cleaner as much as you can. Make sure you don't touch this and then rub your eyes afterwards. You do know that tarantulas, their main defense is actually not their venom. What they like to do is actually rub the back of their abdomen really hard with their back legs, and then these hairs will fall off and they'll fly in the air and possibly get into your eyes and your nasal cavities, which will be extremely irritating. I would not touch your skin or your eyes or anything like that after pinning a tarantula. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little hairs that came off after I cut it. It's really, really dangerous. But here it is. Take a gander at that. It's beautiful. Almost like the real thing. Well, it is the real thing, but yeah. There it is. The fangs are still there, that's amazing. My Tarantula Rose is doing quite fine. She's just relaxing. I can't touch her and show you guys her right now because she's still building up her exoskeleton and she's resting, so I can't even feed her. I'll put this aside and then let's get on to the frame. What frame am I using? I'm using this IKEA frame, and it has this border here. Now, it doesn't come with the back part of the border, it's just hollow. So I have the choice of just leaving it hollow like this with a brown background, but that's disgustingly ugly, and we're not gonna do that. There's three choices. There's the plain white, matte black, and matte cool gray. Now, it's extremely hard to choose, I know, but we're gonna get through this. Let's try the simple white first. I'll just place her there and just see what it looks like. It's not bad. It's quite crisp and clean. Very modern. Oh shoot. So it's a little defocused. And now let's try the black. Not too bad either. A better way to really see what's going on is if you put the frame over it and just look at it from there. It's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't mind going with that actually. But I do like the modern white look to it, so we'll see. And then here's the gray. That's the gray. Now let's put the frame over it. That's really nice actually. Should I go with that? It's a little mix between white and black. And I could see it being like that. I'll take the gray. Gray looks nice. I am gonna cut this up, and so I'll be right back. Alright, so cut up into a little square. Here is my board. Make sure that the frame hanger is always on the top and you don't glue it the wrong way. I've done that before and it has been the worst experience of my entire insect pinning life. I once finished framing everything and I realized I put the insect upside down in the difference of that, and it messed up my entire thing. It was quite sad. I never forgave myself for that, so we won't make that same mistake again. That looks good. Gonna mark it with my pencil. Just got some normal glue. Don't want to use something too strong because it's gonna either melt to the paper or get it all blotchy and you'll definitely notice it. If you don't, then someone else will, that's for sure. So watch out for that. And I'm gluing my paper. Yes, I am. And here we go. That should be good. For this part, I'm gonna also use this because this paper is thick enough for the strong glue to not destroy it. And I want the best security possible. I'll glue it with the armor glue first. Also on the paper. And then I'll get the super glue out. Always be careful with this. It's quite scary stuff. That's good. And carefully place this to its rightful place. Press it down. Make sure it's tight. Just remember, when you're using paper like this is something that you don't really need to know, but in case you have the same kind of paper like me, you'll notice that it has lines. Little lines. It's textured paper. When you're using textured paper, you just gotta always realize that you don't just glue it like any other paper. It's got parallel lines. It's crisscross. So you always want to make sure it's straight. Everything's working together perfectly. Okay. And there we go. Now this is the fun part and also the scary part. I'm gonna glue our little spider. I can use hot glue gun, but I am not going to use hot glue gun for this because I'm too scared. Hot glue guns, they just genuinely dry too fast and you don't have time to perfectly align your specimen. So we're gonna use the Gorilla Glue gel. Our trusty gel glue. I think I need to buy more actually. I'm running out. But just look at your specimen. Make sure everything looks like it's good. And then let's go ahead and glue it. It's a shame you can't see the underside though, because it's just absolutely stunning. It's not coming out. There we go. Oh, I really am running out. Gotta shake it vigorously. Do not want to touch that glue. And carefully. There we go. See, if this was hot glue gun, once we place it, we can never go back. But here, we can move it around. If we don't like it to the left, we can move to the right. Tilt it a bit. It's gonna take a bit to dry anyways. I'm gonna have to get a new one of these. Just gently press it down, make sure you don't destroy the exoskeleton. Yeah. Make sure everything's looking spick and span. It's good to stand up and look from far. Maybe this can go down a bit more, like that. That looks good. I like that. So far so good. Make sure you always close the lid on that super glue. You don't want that getting on your hands. And then we do this. Usually I would sell this, but I love my spider and I want to keep this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to peel this off. Oh, there we go. I almost thought it wasn't peelable. Do the other side as well. Ah, crystal clear. The bad thing about these IKEA ones are though, they're made of plastic. Boo. Plastic sucks. But we will make do with it for now. Like I said, I usually use the higher standard Michael ones, but I had to get this because it looked great. And I could see the potential that I could use for it. And all the parts of the frame are like separated for some reason, which is quite a shame. Don't know why, but it's definitely making my job harder. Already damaged the top part over there, but that should be fine. Like I said, I'm not selling this one. This is mine. Maybe I will sell it. Maybe someone will buy it. Who knows? Let's place this. Close that. You can go without using the front part, I guess, but extra protection. There we go. Just brighten that up a bit. And that's how you do it. Chilean roseherd is finished. Thank you for watching. Next video is gonna be me finishing the part 3 of the amazing insects display. It's gonna be a huge frame. I already have like a couple dozen insects on it, but there's still some empty space for me to use, and yeah, stay tuned.